You're not alone. Today's daily devotion from Pastor Greg Laurie.
Our scripture reading today is from Psalm chapter 94, verse 14. The Lord will not reject his people. He will not abandon his special possession.
It's a strange thing to feel alone when you share a planet with more than 8 billion people. Yet we all feel alone on occasion, Christians and non-Christians alike. We convince ourselves that we're living a solitary existence, that no one notices us or cares about what we do or feel. Psalm 94:14 reminds us that we are in fact not alone. The Lord will not reject his people. He will not abandon his special possession. Whatever you're facing, you're not alone. God is with you. He walks beside you through your valley. He accompanies you through your storm. The problem is that distractions keep us from sensing God's presence. And that's why he says in Psalm 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God." Embrace quiet. When the prophet Elijah felt all alone and feared for his life, God made his presence known to Elijah with the sound of a gentle whisper. That was all Elijah needed to realize he wasn't alone. God also makes his presence known through his word. So if you feel alone, spend some time reading, meditating on, and memorizing Scripture. Start with passages such as Deuteronomy 31:6, Philippians 4:6-7, and 1 Peter 5:7. Pray about the things you read. Ask God to help you sense his nearness. Prayer is important because we have an enemy who thrives on our weaknesses. The Apostle Peter wrote, "Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." Like a lion on the prowl, our enemy targets solitary prey. He exploits our feelings of loneliness and tries to create distance between us and God. But God has a plan to defeat our enemy. God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone." Peter wrote, "God has given each of you a gift from his great variety of spiritual gifts. Use them well to serve one another." Those two verses are not unrelated. To lovingly serve other people, we must look away from our own needs and focus on the needs of others. In doing so, we make a connection with the people we serve, and often we make connections with other people who serve. The author of Hebrews wrote, "And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near." He's talking about fellowship, one of God's most underrated gifts to us. Fellowship, the gathering together of the people of God, is an antidote to aloneness. Just as serving with others prevents isolation and creates connections, so does worshiping God with others. Your fellow church members share many of your core values and priorities. The more you get involved in your church, the stronger those connections become. So if you find yourself struggling with feelings of loneliness, draw closer to God and his people.